boundaries. The next step might be noticing where the resentment shows up. This is a big one because resentment will creep up and you don't even know it's there. Um, and I gave an example of that already when, you do something nice for somebody and they literally, nothing is enough, or they uh, just waste it. They don't do anything with it. And then you're that thing that creeps in your mind. Well, if somebody showed up for me like that, I wouldn't have wasted it. I would do this. I would do that. Right. And that's a resentment. It's a form of resentment, and you don't even realize it's there. Even if it only creeps up a little bit, the universe is going to keep showing it to you and make it keep happening until you start noticing it. So the faster you notice it, the better off you're going to be. It will keep coming and it'll get harder and worse and harder and worse until you're like blowing up on somebody and you don't even know why. That resentment is because um, your body, your brain, your soul, your inner child is just waiting for you to show up for you like you show up for everybody else, right? That's where the self love part, the grace part, that part really, really matters. And being accountable, right? I need my boundaries. I have to put me first. For me to be at my best for you, for my children, for all of these things, um, I need to choose me first. I need to do my things first. Um, and then we can move forward and do other things. And when we start to understand that and we show up like that, being accountable becomes a whole lot easier and less fearful because we don't have to feel shameful for it. Because when we're at our best self, we're better for everybody. So it just makes sense. And then we have the fear of boundaries. Yeah. Noticing where resentment shows up. Practice saying, I need time to think about that. By the way, no is a complete sentence. And especially if you're fear of setting boundaries, fear of upholding boundaries, which is a fear of rejection and abandonment. It's many things, but those are just the more common. Um, I need time to think about it. Gives you space to process and do this whole system that I've been talking about. And you do get quicker at it, you get better. But one thing I've learned, if it's not an absolute yes, it's a no. And the reason is because if it's not an absolute yes, your body's telling you something's wrong. And it doesn't mean it's a no forever. It's just a no for right now because I need to. I need time. I need to process. I need to understand why do I feel about this way about it, right? And then we have some accountability check-in questions. These are simple. You can always journal them. They always say journaling, but I'm telling you, for me, sometimes I journal, but I do a lot more of the voice notes. I do a lot more because then I can read through it and I can process it because um, I like to write when I'm trying to remember things, right? I like to write it down. But um, when I'm trying to process and do things like that, I like to say it, get it out, and then go back and read it and understand it. And people work differently. So these are just suggestions. I don't have all the answers, but the idea is that when you start asking yourself the questions, the answers start coming. And then you start saying, well, this works every time. Oh, this worked that time and that time. And you're putting your own tools in your own tool belt. I'm just giving general suggestions that kind of help kind of get that wheel moving, right? Saying, oh, what if I tried that? It can't hurt, right? It's not ever going to hurt you. The only thing it's ever going to do is empower you and teach you something. When we ask a question and when we seek to learn something, the only thing it's ever going to do is benefit us. It's knowledge. Knowledge is power. So these are questions simple. What's the smallest step forward? What's the smallest step I could take? Is it researching? Is it laying it out? Is it writing it down and saying, okay, now I've written it down. I have to look into this, and holding yourself accountable to that. That's a small, small step, right? Is it sitting for a moment and saying, I need to sit and I need to process this? That's being accountable. That's a big part of being accountable. I need to give myself grace. Being accountable enough to understand what it is you need in that moment is a huge amount of accountability, and it's a huge space of grace, which just automatically means you're loving yourself. It's a massive act of self-love, and it's really important, and you should practice it as much as you can. And then what action aligns with my values, right? What are your values? What are the things that matter the most to you? Is it loyalty, integrity? Um, there's a million of them. Whatever it is, right? You're going to have 3 or 4 that just are absolute, we can't go any further. If these 3 are not there, it's I gotta go, can't be around you, whatever. We all have a couple. Some of us have a few. Um, but the more you know what they are, those are your absolute boundaries. Those are your hard no's. That's the line in the sand. Do not step past that. And when you understand that, then you start to learn what that safe space is in between. So sitting there and checking in with those things is a really important thing to do because it empowers you and it allows you to stand up for those boundaries and say, no, I'm letting you know that is the line. Do not cross it. Uh, that is a hard no. I'm not even telling you to get close to that line. This is the absolute line. And if you get too close to it and you keep coming close to it, even if you don't cross it, you keep coming close and setting that, triggering that unsafety, then you got to go. And that's, when you start understanding that that becomes part of the thing that creates the fear, uh, you start standing up for yourself. You become more and more empowered and you know how to do it because you understand what your values are and what's so important to you. And then what would courage look like here? What would it look like? If I could do anything I wanted to respond to this thing, what would that look like? What would be the best situation and how would that end up? You know, journal about it. Ask. Just get curious. Daydream about it for a minute because the flash of an answer will always come when you quiet your mind. And then these little check-ins, I like these. I do them all the time. I probably do it daily, to be honest. Few times a day, actually. At the end of each week, ask, did I avoid the fear or did I move toward it, right? Did I let it win or did I advance another step in this battle? You don't have to win every single time, but even if you made another step that says I feel a little more empowered, then you won. Just so you know, and each day you get to win a little bit more. What did I learn from this experience? Did it kill me? Did it make me stronger? Do I feel a little more confident? Do I need to do a little more research? Am I still a little unsure? That's okay. How can I fix that? What can I do to change that? What is my next actionable step? Accountability isn't punishment. It's choosing your next step. And it's understanding what it is. And it's learning when to say, okay, maybe my next step is sitting with myself for a little bit, giving myself grace so I can understand. That's accountability too. And then we get into the alchemy of motion, right? Alchemy in motion. We're doing it full stop. Once you've fought through the process and understood the background, understood all of the messy stuff, the crawling through the mud, you get to a space, and I always call it the still point. And it's in my videos there. It's in Grace in the Grind, actually, and Fire and Flow. But the still point, you get to a space where you found this solid foundation. You understand, you know how to process. There's this, like, I'm not going back in the mud anymore. I don't have to. I've got this built. This is my starting point. No matter what happens, I'm not full sabotaging anymore. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm not throwing myself away. I'm not giving in. This is my foundation. I'm solid here. So no matter where I branch out, no matter what happens, I never have to go back down here anymore. I know that this is solid. This is good, right? And that's where alchemy in motion comes. You step out, right? You can pause, right? Oh, this don't feel good. I need to check in. Now, okay, what is it telling me? That's where the first pause comes. What is this telling me? Why am I angry? Why am I scared? What is the reason? How is this happening? Why is this coming? So you pause. That initial pause to get that information automatically empowers you. And if it really needs a minute, being accountable and saying straight up, I need a minute. I need to process this because I don't understand, but it doesn't feel good. And then giving yourself grace, right? That's your first accountability is saying, okay, give myself grace. I'm allowed to feel this. whatever this was does not feel good, and I don't want to do this anymore. So let's sit with it for a minute. Let's validate it and say, okay, am I okay now? Am I good? What's my next actionable step? You already were. You're accountable at so many stages on this. I'm just putting it like this so you understand that there are clear steps. But just the moment you pause, you've already been accountable. You've already done accountability right there when you pause to say, what is this teaching me? There's so many times you're accountable along the way. And when you start noticing it and celebrating it, you actually get really a lot better at it. And when you do that, it becomes a lot quicker. It's the pause. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, that doesn't make sense. That's just craziness. Uh, that's not telling me anything that I don't already know. So we're going to get rid of the noise and we're going to focus on the thing. Oh, I need to sit with that for a minute. Okay. So I'm still angry. So we're just going to wait and we're going to say, why? Why am I still angry? Oh, because I'm scared that they're going to hurt me or leave me or abandon me. Oh, okay. But is that really going to happen? Or is it going to be more likely to happen if I react in this way? Right? Then you go, oh, yeah, okay. So now you gave yourself space to process it. So, how is my next best step? Maybe we need to have a conversation. And maybe I'm a little scared to do it, but maybe I can say, hey, I'm a little scared, a little worried, but I really care and I want to have this conversation. Uh, is there a time that we can do it? Right? You're allowing space for it. You're doing it with fear and saying, I'm actually scared. I don't know how this is gonna go, and allowing them to say, okay, it's okay, right? You didn't kill you. You didn't die, but you did that whole process, right? And then you did the next actionable step. From there, again, that process will happen. But when you learn to do it so much and understand that you already do it in small doses, if you can learn to do it in all of the steps, you don't have to get stuck. You don't have to worry about being completely extreme or going off the rails. You already know, as long as I check in, as long as I get curious, as long as I find out what the information is, as long as I validate myself and say, I'm allowed to feel what I feel, but I can't get stuck in it. So feel it, understand, process what it is. Give yourself grace. If you got to sit there and, stay quiet and have a nap or whatever you got to do, whatever you need to give yourself that space, you do it. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Okay, and that's fine. Sometimes things take longer to heal than others. But when you understand that and you give yourself that space, you allow yourself to process it, and you allow the people that care about you to understand that this is something that I need to do. I need to process this. They're gonna work with you. They're always gonna show up for you if they care.